Okay, it's a few minutes after 5 on Monday, June the 7th, and we want to welcome everyone to the City Council meeting. We'll call this meeting to order. And if everyone would please rise and join me with the pledge.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call, Deb.
Rodney.
Here.
Tyler.
Here.
Don.
Here.
Jody.
Here.
Harlan.
Here.
Mike.
Here.
We have a quorum. Thank you, everyone. Entertain a motion then to approve tonight's agenda.
So moved.
I'll second.
Okay, we have a motion from Harley, a second from Jody. Is there any discussion? Vote please, Deb.
Rodney.
Yes.
Tyler.
Yes.
Don.
Yes.
Jody.
Yes.
Harlan.
Yes.
Mike.
Yes.
Motion carried. Thank you. Across the mayor's desk, I want to thank Colin Penton, our videographer tonight, and welcome Nick Deers. He's our new city recreation manager. So I think he started the 27th of May.
Yes.
So welcome. And then just want to congratulate the Bishop Garrigan girls golf team for winning their state championship. So council have anything they'd like to share? Okay, hearing none, we'll move in update from the city administrator.
Just one quick item. Wanted to share information, invite everyone to attend a public meeting we will have on Thursday, June 24th, beginning at 5:30 p.m. down at Central Park. We're going to have a public input design meeting on the skate park as well as development of that park as a whole. So we'll have part of the design team from Bolton and Mink as well as Spawn Ranch, which is a skateboard design and construction firm. So if weather is poor, we'll move it here to City Hall, but we're trying to start to get the word out. So Thursday, June 24th at Central Park from 5:30 to 7, we'll have a public input meeting on the redevelopment of the skate park and Central Park in general.
Very good, thank you. Okay, we'll move to agenda item number 7. This is the citizens' opportunity to address the council with items that are not on the agenda. Is there anyone in the audience that would like to address the council? Is there anyone on the phone? Okay. Hearing none, then we'll move to the consent agenda, which includes 8 items this evening. Approving the minutes from the May 17th council meeting, approving the bills to be paid this cycle, approving cigarette permit applications for Fairway, Akron Stop, Algona Classic Stop, Dollar General Store, as well as SLJ Investments, and to approve the administrator's report.
Move to approve.
Second.
We have a motion from Harley, a second from Tyler. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, vote please, Deb.
Rodney.
Yes.
Tyler.
Yes.
Don.
Yes.
Jody.
Yes.
Harlan.
Yes.
Mike.
Yes.
Motion carried. Thank you. We'll move then to agenda item number 9, which is a public hearing. And this public hearing is regarding the Mill and Overlay project, and we'll open the public hearing at 5:06 p.m. Jacob, would you like to?
This is a public hearing regarding the 2021 street improvement project, which is the Mill and Overlay project that, for this summer. This map here shows the area that we're going to be working on generally, but we're approximately 24 blocks primarily in the southwest quadrant of the town. The engineer's estimate of probable construction cost is $881,463. We have not received any comments regarding this hearing notice here at City Hall.
Okay. Hearing none, then we'll go ahead and we'll close this public hearing at 5:07. And we'll move then to agenda item number 10, which is also a public hearing referring to the Teets Park Shelter House. And we'll open this public hearing at 5:07.
So you may recall we had a public hearing on this at the last meeting, but we had a notice in the construction plans that stated the hearing would take place this date. So we're just observing both public hearings since that one wasn't published in the newspaper, but that was the one in the official plan document. So I guess we've got nothing to add from the last hearing and what was submitted then.
Okay.
We have not received any additional comments since the last hearing.
Okay, hearing none, then we will, it's 5:08 and we'll close this public hearing. And we'll move then to old business, agenda item number 11. This request is for an outdoor service area.
So this is request by Billy Joe's and Peps to expand their liquor license for the Founders Day event on July 9th and 10th, that Friday and Saturday. I'm done.
Okay. Go ahead and just introduce yourselves, you guys, so the
Ryan
audience
Anderson,
can
I'm
hear.
Billmer, Billy Joe's. Doug Pepe, Peps. Where do you want me to start?
Well, share with us your thoughts about the outdoor service area.
Our initial idea was to split the street in half and make it part Peps, part Billy Joe's, and have the liquor license with 2 Class C liquor licenses run down the street, and that'd be our division. It's been brought to our attention a gray area in the law, I guess, and that doesn't specifically state what I hoped it would, but
We're trying to fulfill the party that used to be what you call Founder's Day. We'd still want it to be a Founder's Day party. That's the theme of it. We're just trying to figure out a way to do it on Main Street. And according to the map right there, that's how we figured it'd be. That would be the most equitable way of doing it. I would be in charge of the north side of the street. He'd be in charge of the south side of the street. It has, obviously this is on one end you're going to have I believe the entertainment mobile facing the east, right in that area. And we would have outside seating. I already do on the outside. I don't know if Ryan will or not. I'm assuming he might. And then we had talked about putting, like an Oktoberfest idea, putting beer tables in the center of the street, picnic tables. My thought is maybe, there is a big gray area. We really don't know. There is an article in the Des Moines Register that shows that on Fridays and Saturday nights, they have blocked off 2 blocks for their bars, for their nightlife downtown. And it's mainly for the 21 and up crowd. They have outside dancing, so I'm assuming, and they have 5 entry points. All the bars in those 2 blocks are involved in it, and they have 5 entry points for this party. Now, I'm not saying it's on that kind of scale, but obviously towns are doing it, and that is our initial plan.
When you checked with the state, they wouldn't clarify it any further?
I think the more you talk to the state, the more confusing it gets. And you probably find that in a lot of other things.
is everybody familiar with the discernible area or what we're contesting?
Yeah.
What the issue is?
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
not wine or beer, it's the mixed, right?
So
Yeah.
to cross lines,
Yeah.
you cannot consume alcohol in public, is what the state told me, ABD, which makes bringing alcohol into my establishment or his establishment against the law, because you would be consuming it in public before you entered the bar onto the licensed premise. What we're saying is with 2 Class Cs butted up to each other, there would be no public consumption, therefore crossing that center line would not be an issue. And there's no code or anything that says any different to that. They just say that you can't bring alcohol onto your premise. Because it's based on premise and not 2 actual liquor licenses butted up face to face like in our extension. That's where the problem lies with doing full Class Cs right next to each other, I guess. I mean, beer and wine can be transported in and out of the bar at the licensee's discretion.
If you have an outside seating already though established, you can take out hard liquor already.
Yeah, you can take out liquor anywhere that your license is valid. So technically, you should be able to, up to our sketch, and as defined by the state, the outdoor section, or the outdoor extension, there's only so many requirements to do that. And it's having the sketch which we provided, having dram shop extension, and then having local authority approval. So there's been some talks or discussion about how things are interpreted differently than what I'm saying, so that seems to be the issue.
The concern is coming from the outdoor service area. It states that, you know, it's an extension of the licensed premise. But for liquor, licenses cannot allow patrons to bring liquor onto the licensed premise. So buying from one establishment, crossing the street, and going into the other, since it's a Class C, if it's beer or wine, that's fine. If it's liquor, that'd be from one premise taking it on to another premise. That's where we're.
You can't do beer or wine either, because without the liquor license extension, I mean, because there's local ordinance you can't drink on the street.
So our understanding is that liquor can't cross that line. And so then it becomes a matter of who's enforcing that, how that's enforced, if
Well,
liquor is involved.
And I guess we go right to the chief who,
So with beer's the same way, if
I
it's
mean,
open.
if
I mean, you
this,
can't have an open container.
we're talking
no-
about a public safety issue, is this an issue that's worth dwelling on?
I think there were several different issues here, if I'm not mistaken, with the barrier here. I didn't hear it all, but I think the question about the consumption is not there because that street's blocked off. And when the street's blocked off, it's not a street anymore. So the public consumption thing's fine. If I understand all the issues here, it's the question about the dividing line between the two outdoor drinking areas. And Pepsi would have one, Billy Joe's would have the other, and we don't need a physical barrier there, but a discernible barrier, which would be the center line, I think is my understanding of it. So I think it all comes down to one thing, I believe, is what is the checks and balances of when, if somebody decides to have liquor, which some are going to, and keeping it from this person's liquor license area to this person's. Are we going to require any checks and balances? I don't know. That's obviously a decision that you have to make. We'll be there as a police department, and like we are at all beer gardens. But are you going to require reasonable checks and balances of that, and what that's going to look like? I did talk to the Alcohol and Beverage Division today, and I discussed they were obviously very busy down here, as I was very busy here, and waiting for a call back from one of them. I talked to the one division, I talked to another division, left a message from another division. So obviously I want this to work, okay? I want this to work for Doug, I want this to work for Ryan, I want this to work for the chamber and the committee as a whole. But obviously you're not going to ask me, Chief of Police, please ignore the rules for that night. I'm hoping you're not going to ask me that. You may, I mean, that's, but then the ball's in our court. But we want this to be successful, and do I have a lot of time to work on this right now? You know that I'm going to be down here in a few weeks and trying to do a whole lot of things at the end of the fiscal year and things like this. I'm doing the best I can to get every single answer, every possible way I can, but I do have some trust in the Alcohol and Beverage Division of the state, I acknowledge that they're much more knowledgeable in this. This is what they do for a living, where I, like you, touch a lot of bases. So I don't know if I missed any issues up here that Doug and Ryan brought up, and even if I did address it, whether I addressed it where you could, was understandable for you. But feel free to ask me any questions. I imagine most of your questions are going to be for these people. I understand.
I think that the key sticking point is the liquor going from premise to premise. And is that allowed, is that not allowed?
That's not been allowed in the state, and according to the Alcohol and Beverage Division, that has not changed. Now, I have asked them the question, too, is how that's enforced. Is it an infraction on which they handle, or if that's something the law enforcement handles? I'm still waiting for this. I'm absolutely trying to get the answers to everything, but everything that I've had, unless somebody points something out that I need to take a look at, I'll try to take a look at that, and I'll try to do it in a timely fashion. And I know Doug has mentioned a couple of things, and I know I need to make a phone call or two tomorrow, and I'll try to do that. I'm going to work with you guys. What was your question, Ryan?
Just so, I mean, I'm just gonna throw an example out. Joe Blow goes across the line, what would be the chargeable offense for that?
That is the question I just asked, because I don't want to go through chapters and chapters and chapters. I don't have time to do that. So the question was for the Alcohol and Beverage Division, excuse me, is that an infraction on their behalf that they handle against the liquor license, or is that something that's a violation of law that is enforceable because of, or something that we do? It's no different than DNR, some of the things they handle, the state handles, some things we handle. But I want to get the answer to that question, because it's a good question. And it may come up, it may not. Everything may, you know, if this is proposed or it has been proposed and if it's passed, you know, hopefully everything will go well. We have good cooperation between all parties, patrons, bar owners, law enforcement. And next year we don't, I won't have this discussion. So, you know, that's what we all want. But I just don't want to be expected to say, you guys stay away, and what you don't see won't hurt you. That's been implied before in this, and I just don't like that. That's, as you know me, that's not the way I operate, and I'm not going to operate within my last 3 weeks of my employment here. So, but we'll try to get all those answers. I just don't have them all today. I'm way too busy, but I honestly trying to get those. But I think I already know the answers to most of them.
I did spend all weekend reading the administrative code and the liquor code for the state of Iowa, and there's, if you take out the consumption, the public consumption aspect of it, there is not an offense, whether it's administrative from ABD or law enforcement for that.
I'm gonna say the only thing that leaves it open is an open container.
Right, yes, but you technically would still be
Could you overlap service districts?
no.
No, okay. I didn't know, with the dram shop extension, I don't know if you could overlap or how that would work.
I don't know how it works. I'm not required to go from, because you'd have to go to
Yes,
inside.
exactly, yeah.
I mean,
Well, it seems like much to do about nothing. I mean, really, when you look at, okay, all we're wanting to do is have you handle the alcohol part and your licenses to be able to handle that. I would wish the state could give you some better answers, but I know from talking with other people that those answers can be varied and not always the same, but
We're just trying to keep the Founder's Day party going for you guys.
I know. And I would be inclined to vote to allow this, and, I mean, it's your licenses that you're worried about, and it's the,
it's our life.
chief has to find out how to handle, you know, everything else out in the street. If everybody's doing their best to accomplish the intent of the law, I guess, I'd say let's go with it.
One other thing too is, and I'll give you the date of the Des Moines Register article, it's May 19th. look up Historic Court Avenue District. And according to that, it's going to be, just like the farmer's market was on Saturday mornings, they want to do a Friday and Saturday night where they close off a couple blocks, and there's several bars in those blocks, and it's made for people 21 and over. They want it to be a dancing. They're going to have DJs outside, live music, and I'm going to have to believe there's going to be alcohol out in the street. Or they won't have anybody there, and we know that.
But is it liquor?
Well, I know
Well-
at the farmer's market, there's Bloody Marys.
Yeah.
I would hardly,
You walk all over farmer's market
Yeah.
with Bloody Marys.
this party runs from 9 p.m. to 2 a.m. on Fridays and Saturday nights through September 4th. And I can guarantee it ain't going to be Bloody Marys and just beer.
Yeah.
Well, I would think there would be some people you could contact there to ask, how do you do this?
Well, I was going to try and talk to a couple of the merchants down there here in the next couple of days, but I would ask maybe somebody would like to talk to the police departments.
Well, yeah, I can call the city and see how they do that and interpret it, because we want, staff, we want the event to be successful too, but we also don't want to put our officers in a position where if there's a violation that happens right in front of us saying, well, don't enforce that, we want to make sure that if it is something that wasn't enforced locally, that we're confident in that interpretation and that is the case, and not just, well, it's convenient, so we're not going to enforce this one. If, there's a liquor area in front of each establishment that was marked off that, hey, liquor has to stay in here, beer and wine can go back and forth, no issue there.
Yeah, I would say if we can, you can maybe check with some of the bar owners, you can check with the law enforcement down there, see how that situation's handled. If they're doing it, we should be able to do it.
I think everybody wants to be able to wander
If they are
around.
doing it legally, yes.
Yeah, if they're doing it legally,
But
yes.
I assured Doug that I would make that phone call.
You bet.
And hopefully I
Okay.
can talk to the person I need to,
You bet.
they're busy also, but I certainly will try.
Okay.
All right, so we're still at where we were last time, waiting for more information.
Seems like
But we're closer.
We are.
Well,
Is there anything stopping us from approving this on the
yeah,
30th?
that's what I was wondering.
Pending
Can't we just
that
approve it now and that it needs to be handled legally? So that's beyond our realm. We just need to permit it as far as we're concerned.
We just need some rules on what we're doing too. So if you can approve it tonight, that way we can always, work with the chief and do what we need to do.
Okay. So I'd make the motion that we approve the request.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion from Harley, a second from Mike. Any further discussion?
Everybody's comfortable with just working it out? That's fine. If you are, I am. But I just want to make sure.
If the state comes back and is just, we talked to Des Moines and the other communities, it's very black and white of like, this doesn't work for liquor, we can't
Well-
knowingly approve,
No,
as long as
even
that.
Ryan and Doug, I'm assuming then you work with them. And if they say we can, we work with them,
Yeah, if
I'm thinking both parties. Are we okay with that?
Yes.
We okay?
Yes.
I think, we can negotiate
Okay.
something.
Then,
Okay.
Okay, vote please, Deb.
Roger,
yes.
Tyler,
Yes.
Don,
Yes.
Judy. Yes. Harley.
Yes.
Yes.
Motion carried. Thank you.
Thank you.
Bet.
Thanks for all your time. Wow.
Okay, we'll move to new business number 12 is an ordinance pertaining to mowing of property.
All right. This is an ordinance amending the number of days from when someone is given notice of how long they have to mow the property. Right now, current code is after it's reached past the threshold for height. We give notice and they have 10 days from the date of that notice to mow, which in the residential, the threshold's 8 inches. So once it gets to 8 inches, another 10 days before we can do a municipal infraction or, go in and do it ourselves. It gets pretty long. So this ordinance cuts that length of time from 10 to 5 days. We could go a little bit shorter than that. We debated, 3, 4, and 5. Some of our notices do have to be mailed. So this would, provide enough time for them to get that notice and still have a couple days to perform before they would be in violation. And kind of just given where we're at in the summer, we're proposing to do all 3 readings at this time. Otherwise, we're probably looking at close to end of mowing season by the time it would get adopted.
We might almost be there with this hot weather. As if it stays hot. Sure.
I'd make a motion, we waive the first reading.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second to waive the first reading. Is there any discussion? Vote please, Deb.
Yes.
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 Motion carried. Thank you.
Motion to approve the first reading.
Second.
Motion and a second to approve the first reading. Any discussion? Vote please, Deb.
Yes.
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 Motion carried.
Motion to waive the second reading?
Second.
You want to say second and third at the same time?
Can I? Okay.
Yes,
Yeah,
you may.
I may do that. Second and third.
What if we wanted you to read the
Your
third?
votes. Just waive this, what, you want me to read it? No, it's a short ordinance. No, but it'd just be waived the second, third
Okay.
readings,
Yeah.
period.
Waive the second and third reading.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion from Rodney and a second from Mike to waive the second and third reading. Any discussion? Hearing none, vote please, Deb.
Yes.
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 Motion carried. Thank
Now
you.
you may adopt, Rodney.
All right. Adopt the ordinance. I make a motion to adopt the
You gotta
ordinance.
approve second and third first.
Well, we're waiving it, so we're not approving it.
Oh.
So we can go right
I
to
guess
adopt.
So we
I was just
we go
listening to
straight
legal.
adopt.
At that point,
Perfect.
I'm gonna adopt.
Okay, second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second to adopt. Any discussion? Hearing none, vote please, Deb.
Yes.
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 Motion carried. Thank you.
Actually, just to clarify, Mike, what we were, by waiving the second, third consideration, I mean, we're just waiving the second, third
Okay.
reading period. So
Okay.
there's nothing to approve since we just
Perfect.
waived it.
Perfect.
So going straight to the adoption was proper. Yep.
Okay, agenda item number 13 is a resolution pertaining to the Teets Park Shelter House project.
So this was the public hearings we had on this project on May 17th as well as on June 7th. The parent low bidder was Sand Construction of Humboldt with a base bid of $494,479 and an alternative bid alternate one of deduction of $6,200. Recommendation is to award the contract to Sand Construction without exercising alternative one to keep that in the project. So total contract price would be that $494,479.
Would move to approve.
Second.
We have a motion from Mike and a second from Don. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, vote please, Deb.
Yes.
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 Motion carried. Thank you. Agenda item number 14 is a resolution also pertaining to the Teets Park Shelter House project.
Is it awarding the contract?
I'm sorry, was I off on?
Yeah, the first one I think was the resolution
Oh, okay.
approving the plans.
I apologize, I misspoke
Right.
on the previous agenda item. That
Oh,
was on the.
okay, yep.
All right, so to clarify, the last agenda item was approving the plan specs, form of contract, and estimated cost for the 21 Teets Park Shelter House project, which was discussed in the public meeting. earlier than on the 17th. So that was just approved. Item number 14 now is the resolution awarding the contract, which, as I just stated, would be to Sand Construction.
Move to approve.
Second.
Motion from Mike, a second from Rodney. Any discussion? Hearing none, vote please, Deb.
Yes.
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 Motion carried, thank you. Agenda item number 15 is a resolution regarding the street mill and overlay project.
So this is approving the plan, specifications, form of contract, and estimated cost of the 2021 street improvement project as presented in the agenda attachments and discussed in the public hearing earlier today.
Move to approve.
I'll second.
We have a motion from Mike and a second from Jody. Any discussion? Hearing none, vote please, Deb.
Rodney?
Yes.
Yes.
Don?
Yes.
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 Motion carried. Agenda item number 16 is a resolution dealing with 2021 street improvement project.
So we had a bid opening on this project on June 2nd. We received 3 bids, the lowest apparent bidder being Fort Dodge Asphalt Company with a total bid price of $672,984.40. As you can see there, the lowest apparent bidder was about 23% below the engineer's estimate, which we're very happy to see. So this resolution accepts the bid and awards the contract to Fort Dodge Asphalt Company in the bid amount.
Move to approve.
Second.
We have a motion from Harley and a second from Don. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, vote please, Deb.
Rodney?
Yes.
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 Motion carried. Thank you. Agenda item number 17 is a resolution dealing with street improvement project.
This resolution approves a professional services agreement with Chosen Valley Testing to do the material testing as well as construction inspections. They're doing more Snap-on Drive and Main Street, so it makes sense since they'll be in town quite a bit already to utilize them for this project as well.
Motion to approve.
Second.
We have a motion from Rodney and a second from Mike. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, vote please, Deb.
Rodney?
Yes.
Yes.
Don?
Yes.
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 Motion carried. Agenda item number 18 is a resolution pertaining to the North Park Drive Junction Box project.
This is that project that took place just south of Pfeffer Precast there. Work on it was completed last fall, but with HydroClean doing their heavy cleaning and lighting, they needed to access those manholes. So we decided to wait on the restoration until that project was done. HydroClean is done with their work and the site's now been restored. Engineer has reviewed and recommends acceptance of the project and paying the final payment, which would be in the amount of $3,750, which is the balance of the retainage to Reddings Gravel and Excavating. And this resolution approves both of those items.
Motion to approve.
Second.
We have a motion from Rodney and a second from Tyler. Is there any discussion? Vote please, Deb.
Rodney?
Yes.
Yes.
Don?
Yes.
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 Motion carried. Agenda item number 19 is a resolution pertaining to a settlement agreement.
This resolution approves and acknowledges a settlement agreement with SLJ Investments LLC in response to their second failed tobacco violation.
Move to approve the resolution.
Second.
I have a motion from Don, a second from Mike. Is there any discussion? Vote please, Deb.
Rodney?
Yes.
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 Motion carried. Agenda item number 20 is another resolution pertaining to a settlement agreement.
This approves, acknowledges a settlement agreement with Hy-Vee Incorporated for for a second tobacco violation in 2 years.
Move to approve.
Second.
I have a motion from Mike and a second from Tyler. Is there any discussion?
Other than to point out, all this does is makes the money go to the city instead of to the state for the
Yes.
fines.
Yep.
So it's good to do this.
And it's set by state law. I mean,
Yeah.
yes.
Okay. Vote please, Deb.
Yes.
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 Motion carried. Thank you. Agenda item number 21 involves a pay app for the North Main Street project.
This is the pay app number 1 from Readings Gravel and Excavating for the North Main Street reconstruction project. The total amount due in the pay application is $195,173.18. This represents approximately 18% of the total contract. The engineer has reviewed and recommends payment.
Move to approve. Or second.
We have a motion from Don, a second from Rodney. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, vote please, Deb.
Yes.
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 Motion carried. Thank you. Agenda item number 22. This involves a change order for the library renovation project.
So this is a change order, an add in the amount of $5,819. In the HVAC room of the old library, which will be where the new mechanicals will be, we've got these 3 giant louvers that weren't slated to be removed, but as they were doing renovation, they discovered what looked like water damage, so we went ahead and pulled that all back, and after some observation on some different rainstorms, there is rain seeping in from around all 3 of those louvers. The new HVAC system is going to need a much smaller space, so in order to mitigate future water damage, what we're proposing is to remove those 3, block them in, and then add a new louver right size for the new mechanical system.
Move to approve.
Second.
We have a motion from Mike, a second from Harley. Any discussion?
Sorry, I have a question. Where's the leaks coming from? Are they coming down through the roof or are they coming through the roofs?
It's coming from more or less just around the perimeter of them where
Okay.
it's I think a combination of seeping in where the brick and the joint compound might not be as tight as it previously was, and then just kind of generally through them as well. There's not really a very robust drip edge, and so it's catching and seeping in. When we pulled the drywall off, you could see it, had been going on for a long time. And we thought it might have been old damage, so we left it off and kind of just washed it through a few rains, and then realized that nope, it's still coming through, so it needs to be addressed.
Okay.
Any other questions or discussion?
We still have plenty of funds in the library's account
For this type of improvement, yeah, in terms of capital.
Any other discussion? Hearing none, vote please, Deb.
Yes.
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 Motion carried. Agenda item number 23 refers to property tax exemptions.
We've got 3 applications for urban revitalization tax exemption. 2 are for new housing construction at 2314 Eastland Drive and 2401 East Lucas Street. And then 1 is for new commercial construction at 2001 East Oak Street. recommend approve all three.
I'll move to approve.
Second.
We have a motion from Jody and a second from Rodney. Any discussion? Hearing none, vote please, Deb.
Yes.
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 Motion carried. Thank you. And again, we want to just thank these individuals for their investment in Algona and wish them well. So agenda item number 24 refers to a new city park.
So as we discussed in the work session, a few members of the neighborhood had approached the Parks and Rec Commission about developing the city-owned parcel here just northeast of the corner of Elm and Clark as a city park. The commission met and recommended or agreed it was a good idea, and so voted to request that the council designate this area as a park. So it would then be under the Parks and Rec Commission's jurisdiction for ownership and development. At this point, and for the next agenda item, we'd like to add the vacated street to that as well. So this isn't designating the space as a park, but more or less a motion indicating that that is our intent as part of that street vacation. And then once we can combine those parcels, we'll be working on a plan, and then at a later date, we would pass a formal resolution declaring it a park. But this more or less just expresses that intent and directs staff to start developing plans.
So was half of that area vacated and the other half not? That seems odd.
The south half was vacated and sold to Bustrom. There was a Bustrom that owned that real estate. So at that point, that has, I think it was 2003, because I was looking at the legal descriptions and everything else, but I think around 2003 it was vacated, and then it was sold. But the north half, nothing was done, because as you can see, it's not a developed street, but but on the records, it's still the north part of Elm Street that needs to be vacated.
I just thought it was odd that half a street would be vacated and the other not, but I guess it happened.
Yeah. So Bustrom
at the time, again, it was Bustrom that wanted, they wanted that to put a shed or whatever it was on that property.
So they still own that then, we're saying?
Yes. Yes, they still own, where you see the 33 there?
Right.
It's the south 33 feet of Elm Street that was vacated. They own.
So we'd be taking from that corner and north, and that would be the section that we're vacating. From a functionality, practical standpoint, it makes absolutely no difference, but if we're going to call this a park, then we can't have part of it still technically be a street.
Okay, gotcha. Yeah.
What do we need here?
Then a motion to approve the city staff to develop plans for the new park. Is that what we're doing right now?
Yeah, just be a motion to direct staff
to develop plans for the new city park.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion from Rodney and a second from Mike. Any other discussion? Questions? Hearing none, vote please, Deb.
Yes.
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 Okay, motion carried. Thank you. Agenda item number 25 is an item to be referred to planning and zoning.
So this is the official petition to vacate the street at the request of the Parks and Rec Commission. You can see it outlined there. The Planning and Zoning Commission right now we have scheduled to meet on June 14th. So notices went out today to the adjacent owners or abutting owners about that Planning and Zoning Commission. So this just refers to P&Z, and then it'll come back. We'll have to do a public hearing at the council level before we formally vacate it.
Move to refer.
Second.
We have a motion from Harley, a second from Jody. Any discussion? Hearing none, vote please, Deb.
Yes.
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 Motion carried. Agenda item number 26 also is an item referring to planning and zoning.
Kemna Properties LLC or Kemna Auto Center, they own 5 parcels here along Highway 18. As you can see, it is currently zoned light manufacturing. They have requested to change the zoning designation to Highway Service Business District, which is consistent with the planned use along that corridor, as is LM. The primary reason for this is just on their signage for their new development under light manufacturing. Signs have to be 20 foot back from the front yard. The setback applies. On highway service, there is no minimum front yard setback or front yard setback on signage. So this will allow them to put their signage in line with, similar to how Pharmacists Mutual and Dollar General across the street has their signs there on the property line, so they're easily to see. So refers to P&Z for a rezone.
Move to refer?
I'll second.
I have a motion from Mike and a second from Jody. Any discussion? Hearing none, vote please, Deb.
Yes.
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 Motion carried. Agenda item number 27 sets a public hearing.
And just because of the timing of that project, we're moving this one along. So P&Z is scheduled to meet on the 14th. And so we are going to go ahead and schedule a public hearing for the 21st. So when P&Z provides their report and recommendation to council, it can be considered on the 21st for the first ordinance reading on the rezone. So this just sets the public hearing for the item referred.
Motion to approve public hearing.
Second.
A motion from Rodney and a second from Mike. Any discussion? Hearing none, vote please, Deb.
Yes.
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 Motion carried. Agenda item number 28 also sets a public hearing.
As part of the Community Development Block Grant housing application, 2 items. I'll just discuss 28 and 29 together because we need to schedule 2 public hearings proposed to be for the 21st at 5 o'clock. The first one, item 28, is setting a public hearing on a housing needs assessment. As part of that application, we need to identify our housing goals and what we're looking for in terms of improvements. It's more or less a formality item of, yep, we have a need for rehabbing older homes. We have a need for new housing, but just kind of formal documenting that the city does have those findings. So it's not like a housing needs assessment like we did a few years ago, which is a big study. It's just identifying those. And then the item 29 is setting a public hearing on actually submitting the grant application.
So the funds from CDBG, can they be used for something as minor as painting?
Yeah, so the CDBG housing program, the way that works is communities can get up to 6 homes, up to $24,999 per home, and that is to all be used for exterior improvements. So it can be
That would be very appropriate then.
Yeah, so it can be siding, gutters, roofing, accessibility, ramps. So basically the 6 selected applicants, you can't cross that $25,000 threshold. That's just one of those federal things. But yeah, painting would be one of those, anything really to do with the exterior.
Okay, well, I was just thinking of that as something we had discussed at the work session, was the maintenance policies that we're planning on putting in place, and among them was excessive peeling of paint. So this would be help with somebody who would need help in remedying a situation like that.
Do we need two separate motions or just put these together as a?
Two separate motions
Motions.
on the agendas,
Okay.
just for both of them, setting the public hearing for the 21st at 5 o'clock.
Okay.
Move to approve public hearing.
Second.
Motion from Mike, second from Tyler. Any other discussion? Vote please, Deb.
Yes.
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 Motion carried for that public hearing. Entertain a motion then for the next public hearing.
I'll move to approve.
Second.
We have a motion from Jody, a second from Don. Vote please, Deb.
Rodney,
Yes.
Tyler,
Yes.
Don,
Yes.
Jody,
Yes.
Harley.
Yes.
Mike.
Yes.
Motion carried for that public hearing. Agenda item number 30 is considering a request for a street closure. Oh, Vicki.
Hi. I'm Vicki Mallory with the Algona Chamber, and our first Party in the Park event, which will be held on the Carnegie Lawn area, is Wednesday, June 23rd, and the theme is Growing Community, which is an agriculture-based theme, and we have, working with the Kossuth County Extension Office, we've got a conservation trailer and a corn trailer, equipment, a new tractor from Casey Nielsen and an old tractor from Mark Bierstead, just so people can compare the difference in the generations of farming. So my request is to close Nebraska Street from Moore Street to Dodge Street, leaving the alley open, or leaving the intersection open. And the time is 5:30 to 7:30 that night. So I've already spoken with Kendall on, kind of the timing of closing it, but just need to have council's approval.
Okay.
What time would you like to see that closed?
Well, we try to put a no parking after a certain time, but we're always chasing people down. I'm not, Kendall is.
And I can't run as fast as I used to, so it's more difficult. So the event is 5:30, 7:30, and it would be what, from the south half of Moore Street or the whole Moore Street?
No, it would just be that intersection. I mean, we can leave Moore Street open. What I'd like to do is angle some barricades so that the majority of Nebraska is no parking, and then people can still pull into that municipal parking lot there to park.
Okay, all right.
Kind of like what you've done in the past. Most of them.
Yep.
I make a motion, we approve the street closure.
Second.
One quick question. Do we want to go ahead and approve closures for the other
I'm
Party in
not
the
sure at this
Parks?
time that I need closure for those. The
Okay.
committee is finalizing the things that will take place for those two.
Okay.
So at this time, I only know that we need it closed for June 23rd.
Okay.
So we have a motion from Rodney and a second from Mike. Okay, any discussion? Vote please, Deb.
Rodney,
Yes.
Tyler,
Yes.
Don,
Yes.
Jody,
Yes.
Harley.
Yes.
Mike.
Yes.
Motion carried.
Thank you.
Well, agenda item number 31 is the final notification and appointment for the Planning and Zoning Commission. Nicole Burtis, as we know, resigned, and this is the final notification, so a position may now be appointed. So is there a name?
Yep, we had Brandy Deers was interested in
Yep.
serving on the commission. I think she'd be a good addition for that.
Okay,
So I would
Yeah.
suggest her.
Good.
Yeah.
okay. Is that a motion? Or,
And I'm a second.
okay, we have a motion and a second then to appoint Brandy Deers on the Planning and Zoning Commission. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, vote please, Deb.
Rodney,
Yes.
Tyler,
Yes.
Don,
Yes.
Jody,
Yes.
Harley,
Yes.
Mike.
Yes.
Very good. Motion carried. Thank you, and welcome, Brandy. Number 32 is the second notification for, or of a future appointment for the Airport Zoning Commission. And this appointment may take place at the June 21st meeting. So we need to be aware of that and keep our eyes and ears open and ask anyone if they would like to serve on the Airport Zoning Commission. They're welcome to call us at City Hall. And agenda item number 33 is a notification of future appointment to the AMU Board of Trustees. Jay Giving's term expired the 31st of May. This is a mayoral appointment, and I've been in touch with John Bilstein about that future appointment. So it is about 3 minutes before 6, and I would entertain a motion to adjourn the meeting.
So moved.
Is there a second?
I'll second.
We have a motion and a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Meeting adjourned. Thank you.